guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. Today we're going to be talking about the season finale as well as other episodes from Little Fires Everywhere.
So Little Fires Everywhere, as you saw in our first review, is a show that's really dealing with the conflict of race, motherhood, gender. There's a lot of little things going on, like the show says, little fires everywhere. There's little conflicts and how those arise, and they just execute it so well, and I personally thought the finale was the best episode of the entire season.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the finale episode. It just hit home. It was very deep. It was emotional. It was impactful. Reese Witherspoon in the finale, I thought was really good in it.
I think it was probably, for me, her best acting performance that I've ever seen. I know that people really love Wild. I haven't actually seen that movie. But she just fully explodes. This whole season has felt like you had this volcano and just bubbling underneath the surface. And it was finally going to erupt at some point. And you always felt like it was getting there. But in the finale, they just went and just really wrapped up almost everything they could in that last 45 minutes, an hour.
I also thought Kerry Washington in the finale as Mia was really well done as well. Her performance throughout the whole season I felt was like pretty persistent, and her character was ever evolving.
Yeah, and I did like that. I feel like all the characters slowly changed and in some ways devolved, as well as evolved into newer and better people, especially as you're seeing with Reese Witherspoon's character, someone who feels like she is perfect, someone who feels like she's living this perfect, picturesque life, but having to have this whole world literally and figuratively burned down around her, finally made her realize who she is and her own faults. And I thought those scenes were excellent. I think the last 10 minutes of the episode was really, really well done as far as just the way that they scored it. I think the music worked perfectly. All the different, just wrapping it all up, all these little scenes of where we ended up from the beginning of the show till the end, and just that transformation was just really well done.
I also liked at the beginning of each episode, you go back in time. You got to see like little glimpses in between each character's life, like back in time, and so you have a little more better understanding why they may be the way they are today.
Yeah, and I think that those flashback scenes were handled really well by the scriptwriters and by the original writer of the story, because you're able to really get a grasp on how these people are feeling, because there's a lot of characters in the show. I mean, you probably have like, you have the 5 or 6 kids as well as all the adults, and I feel if you tried to flesh out all of them, you'd need a 24-episode series.
Yeah.
But having it just slimmed down to the smaller, limited series, you're able to get a good idea with 5 or 10 minutes in the very beginning of the episode. So I think as far as the script writing goes for the show, they really nailed the idea of having it be rather ambiguous at times. It never feels like it fully takes the side of a character, and I like that about it because it's dealing with some really sensitive topics, and it doesn't do it in an in-your-face manner. We have a lot of media that deals with race relations and gender relations and being a woman and motherhood, and you even have it on Hulu. You have The Handmaid's Tale dealing with motherhood and being a woman, and you have this dealing with race, but it does it in a far more accessible and casual way. I feel like racism exists in the world in a way that, in the show shows it, is very dismissive. It's not like you're in your face, very aggressive, horrible racism. It's kind of the casual racism that people see every day, and it exposes that in a more understandable and well-written way.
My overall thoughts of the whole series of Little Fires Everywhere, I thought it was really well done. The acting in it was pretty incredible to me. I thought Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington just were fantastic in their roles. The story is also very deep. There's a lot of symbolism as well in the story. And it's just something fresh and new to watch.
It has a lot of rewatchability for me, in my opinion. And I have to say, I think it, for me, is probably the best Hulu show that I've watched. And I've really enjoyed a lot of them. But, I mean, when it first started, I really didn't know what I was getting. I felt like I was watching Big Little Lies or something like that. I felt like you're very, like, something we've seen in the past couple years. But it really transformed into something that had a lot to say. And I like that it was able to get those messages across and really made you think. You weren't just like, oh, this person's wrong and this person's wrong. It's like, well, they're all wrong in their own special ways. They all are messed up people. And trying to get to that core of what makes you messed up is something that makes the show interesting. So they were able to craft this show in a way that really kept me interested. And the last episode, honestly, I thought was fantastic.
So this sums up our thoughts on Little Fires Everywhere. Let us know down in the comments if you've checked it out. What'd you think about it? I know there is a book, and what is it in comparison to that?
Also, if you've checked out any of the other Hulu original shows, how does this fall into those for you? Did you enjoy it as much as we did? I didn't think I was going to like it that much. I mean, I love Big Little Lies, so I thought it was going to be more like that, but it turned into be something that I really enjoyed almost just as much, if not more than that.
So remember to always like and subscribe. We always appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time. Bye.